It's obvious that they're simply not fast enough. What on earth has happened to Mercedes? Mercedes, 8-time consecutive Constructors' champions until last season, blown everyone out of the water for the past 8 years, find themselves seemingly settling for third place in the Constructors 2022, behind Red Bull, obviously champions, and Ferrari. Now they could finish second if they outscore Ferrari by 25 points, which is highly unlikely, let's face it. So P3 in the Constructors for a team who have been invincible for almost a decade in Formula 1 is into a Wolf's words himself. And that's it. No one really knows the answer to the question, to be honest, but it's pretty simple. It's obvious that they're simply not fast enough, right? They're simply not fast enough for Red Bull, for Ferrari for the majority of the season. Hamilton has had a few close calls, or Hungary, Barcelona, Silverstone, Brazil last weekend, where he could have won if he wasn't crashed into by a number of drivers. Silverstone, well, I mean, the car was half a second off, and he just somehow kept himself in the fight. But yeah, it's a simple question, but probably the hardest one to answer, because how they were so confident through the wind tunnel testing and all that kind of stuff, how it can't correlate on the track. Obviously there are scientific reasons behind it, anticipated, like ports, etc. They can't get it that wrong. Like Red Bull aced it, Ferrari aced it. What happened at Mercedes? I've changed the camera angle because I just realised it's terrible. But it's just, I don't understand it. The world of Formula 1 doesn't understand it. I wish we bloody understood it so we could actually win a race before the penultimate weekend of the season, but there you go. So, yeah, what can you really say about that? What I will say, though, is that they've improved a lot. And I think somewhere in Mercedes they have finally understood what is going wrong, what they have to improve on, aka driving in a straight line. It's like, I don't know, driving through bloody treacle or something, or cement, which is drying very quickly. So I, for one, as a fan of the team, I can't be so harsh on them, because they're giving us 8 years of just completing us exceptional cars. Like the W12, W11, delivery was fantastic. Secondly, rapid, unbelievably quick car. Fast forward 12 months to this year, and it's a bloody wheelbarrow, isn't it? Let's face it. Another thing is that their operating window is so small. There's hardly even the slightest chance of them even winning a race, let alone like winning a championship right now. Like, it's a joke. It's taken them 3/4 of the season to actually have a competing car, and that's only been realistically for 2 or 3 races where they should have won, and then obviously now in Brazil George has won. But their operating window is so small. They're giving themselves such a hard job. Like, if you think of the W13 as a concept and prospect, it's obviously incredible. It's world class. It's elite. And Mercedes probably trusted themselves, maybe with an inflated ego, and the fact that it may only have a tiny operating window. However, we are Mercedes, we are the best in the world. It'll be fine, we'll get through it, we'll make it work every single weekend, and it's worked maybe a quarter of the time out of 24 races this year, which is just horrendous, isn't it, really? So, and also a car like the RB18, Red Bull's car, it works on every single track. They have basically forfeited like a few races for the greater good. And Mercedes are always fast in Brazil, they're always quick at Silverstone. I also wonder, should they have just like made a car which is going to be in the top 2 or 3 at every single Grand Prix and trusted their drivers? Yes, they probably should have done in hindsight, but this is Mercedes, this is the 8-time consecutive Constructors' Champions that we're talking about right now. So, could have, would have, should have, it's one of those things for Mercedes really this year. Will they be back on top or back at the front consistently next year? I probably don't think so. Heading the right way though, aren't they? Let's face it, you know, they've been at the front now for the last few races. Didn't really expect to win in Brazil, which is strange for me. Like, I heard that and I was like, hang on, you literally win there every year and your car is always going to be suited to that kind of track at that altitude. But we will have to wait and see. I mean, I don't think they're going to be back at the top. I think the drivers might be, but I don't think they're going to be fighting for the constructors. I think Red Bull, Christian Horner and co have got that nailed on. I will say though is that Mercedes have adhered to the FIA's cost cap in 2021 and presumably also 2022, because if they'd broken this year's cost cap then they probably wouldn't be third in the constructors, would they really? So, but that is a conversation for another video, probably the next video actually, because I'll probably end up filming it straight after this, aka me talking into a camera about why Red Bull and the cost cap is probably the worst thing to happen to Formula 1 in a generation. But yeah, all in all, Mercedes know they messed up. I think they finally understand why and how they've messed up. And hopefully Mercedes will be back on, well, if you're neutral, you're not going to agree with or Mercedes should be number 1 again, etc. But I hope at least it's a fight, because let's face it, this season has been very, very, very one-sided. This has probably been a pretty pointless video because I've not really brought you any groundbreaking information that you didn't already know. I've basically just been talking at you. Yeah, Mercedes, slow, need to get better. I think they know how to get better now. Will they be at the front in 2023? Probably not all season anyway, because Red Bull have already got such a march on them. If they've broken the cost cap again though, because Marco has quotes about, he thinks that 6 teams have definitely broken the cost cap. That's quite interesting, so we'll have to see what happens with that in like 12 months time or whenever the 2022 cost cap findings are released. So yeah, I'm going to grab a coffee and I will see you in a bit.